Have you ever felt like your mind is a battlefield? Dr. Russ Harris, a renowned psychology expert, points out an ironic truth. Inside each of us, there is something called the struggle switch. Imagine this switch is located right at the back of your mind. When it is flipped on, you perceive every uncomfortable emotion like anxiety, sadness, or a painful memory as a dangerous enemy. Instantly, your brain triggers a red alert. You start using every ounce of your strength to fight it, pushing it away or trying to destroy it at all costs. But here is the trap. This fight or flight mechanism was originally designed for our ancestors to survive wild animals. However, emotions are not real-world tigers. They are part of your internal nervous system. When you fight your own emotions, you're essentially attacking yourself. The result? The more you struggle, the deeper the pain takes root, leaving you exhausted in a war that never ends. Now, imagine a faint feeling of anxiety has just surfaced. What happens next if your struggle switch is flipped on? Immediately, you aren't just anxious, you start fighting it. You tell yourself, "No, I don't want this feeling. Why is it back?" And at that very moment, something terrifying happens. You start becoming anxious about your anxiety. See that? The pain has just doubled, but it doesn't stop there. Your mind begins to pour gasoline on the fire with a chain reaction. You feel angry because you can't seem to control your own emotions. Then comes sadness, a deep sorrow as you think, is my whole life going to be stuck in this loop? Finally, the guilt kicks in. You look at suffering children, you look at the world out there, and you scold yourself. How pathetic am I to be sitting here worrying about nothing? Dr. Russ Harris calls these sticky emotions. They bundle together into a jagged, heavy, dark mass. When you spend 90% of your energy just wrestling with that mass, you have nothing left to live a meaningful life. You are no longer in control of your life. The struggle switch is. So what happens if we learn how to flip that switch off? Make no mistake, flipping the struggle switch off does not mean you suddenly feel happy. It doesn't mean your anxiety will vanish. Flipping it off simply means you choose to stop fighting. When anxiety shows up, instead of tensing up to push it away, you simply say, "Ah, here is anxiety again. I see you, and you are allowed to be here." You don't have to like it, but you allow it to exist. When you stop resisting, a miracle happens. The pain is no longer amplified. Anxiety no longer drags anger, sadness, or guilt along with it. It is merely a physical sensation in your body. At this point, your emotion is like a stream. It may rise, it may fall, it moves freely, and eventually flows away according to its natural rhythm. Most importantly, when you stop using 90% of your strength to suppress the pain, you suddenly reclaim all that energy for what truly matters: caring for yourself, connecting with loved ones, or pursuing your passions. You carry your pain like light luggage on your shoulder, instead of letting it become shackles at your feet. In the end, remember this: a meaningful life is not a life without anxiety or pain. The truth is, as long as you are alive and capable of loving, difficult emotions will surface. They are an essential part of the symphony of life. The only difference between someone who is stuck and someone who is free doesn't lie in who has less sadness, but in the position of their struggle switch. Today, if anxiety pays you a visit, you don't have to force a smile or chase it away. Try taking a deep breath, Relax your shoulders and gently flip that switch off. Let the pain move freely and use your hands to do what truly matters. Because you deserve to live, not just to survive in an endless internal war.